Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies and comrades, karibuni, 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 karibuni. Karibuni, karibuni, karibuni. Join me. Ladies and gentlemen, karibuni, karibuni, karibuni. Welcome, welcome, welcome for an eventful day if you live in Kenya. Rigathi Gachagua. How can I avoid this? Rigathi. Before I get started. Yasi, hello. I saw you were here. You're the first one to comment. Thank you so much for joining me, Yasi. Today I won't do much talking. I'll just open the forum and whoever wants to come in and say whatever they want to say, nitafungua watu waseme wafungue roho, they give their view of what they think about what transpired today about Rigathi Gachagua. Ama namna gani? Let's see. Okay. Should I play there was a bunch of stuff that was said. There were members of parliament who were coming out, giving their case, making their case about the Rigathi Gachagua. Some of them kept on claiming that Gachagua was causing disharmony among communities in Kenya. Some of them were saying he was, making a case that he was corrupt. He has a bunch of companies. Some of them were saying a bunch of stuff, okay? But regardless, Gachagua went in there, made his case, pretty much the same things that he was speaking about yesterday in his press conference. Nothing really different. And then they went voting and they voted him, they voted to impeach him. At least that's in the National Assembly, parliamentarians. Okay? Now, I guess the next step is the Senate are going to make their minds up. Now, before I get started, please, if you haven't subscribe, share, like, comment, and do all the good stuff. If this is your first time, please go ahead and subscribe, like, share, comment, and do all the good stuff. Let me just play this whole thing. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but just to get a snippet of what happened. For some people, I was in and out. I couldn't watch the whole thing because it was a bit too lengthy for me, for my concentration, and I have ADHD. Can't concentrate for long, but regardless. Now, other news. Apparently, Morara was arrested while all this was going on. Kasmuel was at Raila's house, greeting, giggling. I don't know. They were being mentored, I guess. I don't know. Just a bunch of stuff that's happening. But let's get started with the big story. Gachagua, the vice president, the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya, there was a motion to impeach him, and he went and defended himself, and they voted on him at the National Assembly, voted against him to be impeached. Now, I've said this before, that this thing will probably end up with Gachagua going to court, and he will be exonerated. We know how the system works. In my opinion, again, this is my opinion. If you disagree, that's fine too. I think this is a whole script. They're just doing this to, again, distract us from what's happening. As you know, SHIF is rolled out and the Adani CEO is in town, is in Kenya, try to finalize the deal so they can officially take over the JKIA, among other things, okay? So there's distraction all over with this Gachagua thing and all. It's just a bunch. It's too much. But let's listen in a little bit. It was a lengthy process where people were making their submission and all that. All right, tuendeni kidogo tu tusikie, while I give you guys a chance to grab a seat, have a seat. Kama unataka kula, enda kachukue chakula ukae, so you can join in on the discussion. I'll put the link in, so if you want to come in and chime in, ni sawa, nitawapatia nafasi.
No more points of order.
All right, because today I will do less talking. I just want to hear what people say.
Tender. As the acting director of procurement, Dr. Justice Kinoti, by letter 5th May 2023, formally notified Shobika Impacts Limited that its bid was unsuccessful.
Hold on. I didn't have a haircut. I just haven't fixed my hair. Nice one, Gypsy. Nice observation.
Because its tender security was not paginated and the tender was hence non-responsive. That is clear at paragraph July 2023, I pressured him to surrender the original billboard. Yet, by the letter dated 5th May 2023, KEMSA had requested for collection of the original bid. Thus, there was no cost to. I am aware of a foreign company known as Shobika Impacts Private Limited as Annex RG18 in an appointment agency letter by Shopika Impacts Limited in the year 2014. Sometime in 2023, Kenya Medical Supplies Authority advertised tender number GFATM MOL NFM 2022-2023 for supply of long-lasting insecticidal nets using the international open tendering method of procurement on behalf of the Global Fund. The monies for supply of the nets, as per my understanding, was a pure grant from the Global Fund. I am aware that Shobika Impacts Limited still participates in doing business with and has not been debarred by the Global Fund to date. I believe being technically qualified to provide and deliver the goods, subject of the tender document, having the financial ability to do so, and without their participation or assistance from Crystal Kenya Limited, Shobika Impacts Private Limited independently participated and submitted in its bid in response to the subject tender pursuant to an invitation by KEMSA. Having not participated in the subject tender, Crystal Kenya Limited did not submit any of the documents in response to the subject tender. Specifically, Crystal Kenya Limited did not submit a bid board or tender security in its name in response to the subject tender. It is therefore not.
Hold up. I'm having connection problem here. Let me see. There's something I want to play instead of that. Something that interests me. Let me show you something. I want to see something here. Let's watch this one. This was more interesting that the Chagwa's process. Let's hear this. I think this was an eye opener for me personally. Let's see.
It's mind. Dear Mr. President, I'm about to tell the whole country a top secret that you've been hiding away from everyone since the Gen Z Mandamano. It's mind-blowing when you find yourself in certain rooms. So here's exactly what happened, guys. And I'm not even going to talk about the number of people that were disposed. And don't come for me. I know the exact number, but here I am. I'm not even putting it out there. But the people deserve to know exactly what transpired of the access. Now, you guys remember when the national government brought police to take care of the coup in Mandamano, right? We remember that very well because the police were brutal and they killed a lot of people. Now, the part that you guys are not aware of is that the president reached out to our army to also come in. Now, here's what most of you are not aware of, because most of you saw the army escorting the common wananchi, and my age mates, they were being escorted all the way back home. If you guys remember those clips, what you're not aware of is what exactly transpired, and this is what everyone needs to know. Now, the president approaches the army, tells them if they can come help in the current situation that is happening. The army, our Kenyan army, has risen in ranks over the years. There's due number 50 what on NATO. They have accolades they've picked over the years and ranks. And these global ranks you're given when you literally service and protect the people. That is the number one thing, the key role of the army. Now, when the president asked them to come in, the army said, well and good, you're going to come in, but you have to put your instructions down in writing. Now, here's where they cornered your president, because if you're going to put the instructions in writing, this is the army telling you, whatever you put down in writing, you are held accountable to it. Remember, this is something that is going to be faxed. It's not even emailed. That is not how the army works. It's faxed. So the minute he puts it in writing, the entire world has access to his instructions. And your president, being as smart as usual, realized this was me being cornered. So what did he do? Because this was embarrassing. So he wrote to the army and told them, and you guys go greet them. Just go greet them, scare them a bit, and then come back. And that is exactly what Kenyans saw. The army were released from the camp, and the army came. They were even making fun with Gen Zs on the street, and then they saw off these kids safely home. Now, this is the reality Kenyans are not aware of. The president approached the army, and the army put him where he belongs. So, in short, the commander-in-chief of the Republic of Kenya could not command in that situation. And if the country knew this, then Gen Z would have literally gone nuts in terms of their balls, that is. The commander-in-chief became the biggest comedian to all the former generals, to all the armies across the continent and around the world. It is still a laughing stock to date, because where commanders-in-chief give instructions to literally go and protect the country, where other commanders-in-chief give instructions in times of necessity, in times of war, in times of fighting for the nation, your commander-in-chief gave instructions for them to come and greet people. I don't think you guys realize how in the army, this was such a joke. It's the joke of the century. And if you think I'm lying, give a call to any major general around the country, whether current or former, or any person who is senior ranking in the army, and get to know their sentiments around what has occurred in this country this year. What am I saying? It's like the banks, the modern banks today that cannot back up their money with gold. It's the same thing we have right now in our presidency. We have a presidency that cannot be backed up with command. It's crazy. It's crazy once you guys to know that you shook the country to the core. I need you guys to know that you actually made an impact. And you even shook your president to the core. He got to a point whereby he had zero command. His hands were tied. And that is how powerful the common wananchi is. Can we please spread this awareness? And can Kenyans start feeling safe? I promise you, as a country, you're actually backed up with an army that cares about you. Oh, this is incredible when you hear it from the people. We have no command. Yeah, let me know what you think.
Okay. In that clip, she explains how the president Ruto during the Mandamano asked the army. He knew that when he reached out to the army, he had to put his orders in writing in case something happens. The leadership, the top lieutenants of the top generals of the Kenyan Defense Forces, the generals of Kenya, can go if they were to be, matched. If we were to have a trial, like you say, like the Nuremberg, where civilians, the Jews were killed by the Nazi fascist generals, they were brought to account. So when the president asked the army, because remember, when the Mandamano was happening during the takeover of JKIA, they were overwhelmed. The police were overwhelmed. So when Ruto reached out to the generals, in order to, put the army on the streets, the generals told him that you have to put this on writing and you have to be very clear as to what do you want us to go do exactly, because as an army of a country, their job, their role is not to, they cannot shoot at innocent protesters. So that's why they asked him. So when they asked the president this, Ruto just said, hey, you guys go show up and just mingle with the people, greet the people, because he wanted to create this idea that the army were there to quell the situation on the ground, because he understood that if he was to order or give the army, him as the chief ninio mkuu of the armed forces, if he was to give orders and direct the army and tell them to go, use force against innocent protesters, that can put him in hot soup, because, that's not, even in international law, the army are not supposed to kill or use force against civilians. So that's why he said, hey, you guys go there and meet them. And that's exactly what happened. The army went to the streets and they were with the people. So it's just an example that shows you that if people were to go to the streets and demand to represent themselves directly as the sovereigns, that the army will only respect the will of the people and not the will or the command by an unpopular president who has been rejected by the majority of the people. Now, I know you are here for the Gachagua stuff, and yes, I will give you some of it. Let me just start with Waikwa's tweet, because I think this is more exciting, because I see here every news article here is just talking about Gachagua has been impeached and all that, whatever the case is. I don't know what's going on, but let's just get a clarification from a lawyer. What's just transpired today? What exactly does it means? Because it's not an impeachment yet. What has happened in Ninio? Okay, so let me share with you. What Waikwa, who's I believe as a Ninio in law, was discussing. This is what he said. I will just read it here. I know everybody's excited about talking about. I'm not going to talk about that. Today I'm just, like I say, I'm not excited about this whole Gachagua stuff. Anyway, this is what he says. Let me just read it to you if you care. It's loading and it's taking too much time, and I'm about to not deal with that. Okay. Anyway, Waikwa says no National Assembly has not impeached Rigathi. It has resolved or voted to support the motion on Rigathi's impeachment. Big difference. Impeachment is the cumulative act of successful vote at National Assembly and the confirmation by Senate to sustain any of the charges. So you get the difference? Okay. They voted to continue with the motion of impeachment, but he's not impeached yet. So for those of you who are excited, like I say, this is just to briefly reiterate what my position is. This is it's a game, it's a grand script, and it's been acted. Rigathi Gachagua is an actor, just like William Ruto is an actor, Raila Odinga is an actor, Uhuru Kenyatta was an actor. I always bring you back to one thing. I asked you this, that if you truly believe that William Ruto had a problem with Kenyatta when the so-called bromance ended, why did Kenyatta hand over power to him? Okay? And what was the reason why they, why they fell off? There's no reason. Same thing with Gachagua, just the flimsiest excuses that can be applied on Ruto too. So this is a whole game that I know most Kenyans are excited. And we like drama, okay? We like this drama. It's hitting, and that's what's trending right now regarding Gachagua. And you'll get excited, and that's the problem. You get excited with things that actually won't benefit you. And now everybody is on it. People are striking gold right now. Everybody is talking about Gachagua and the impeachment, wasting precious time. And it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Again, it will take you time for you guys to learn that this is a game. Just like Raila Odinga was playing that game when he was playing, right, the way he was acting as the opposition and all this, then he finally went and joined the government. And this is the same game they're playing, including these senators and national members of the National Assembly. They've been paid to play a role. They've been paid to play a role. And that's what's happening. So I keep on telling you guys, don't fall for all this popular, I've been on different platforms and I'm listening in, and people are so excited talking about all this, giving their, oh, Gachagua will go, oh, Gachagua is being unfairly treated. Bro, this is a whole game. Listen, if we had a system that was actually working, Ruto should have been impeached early. Him, along with Gachagua and the whole executive branch, along with all the members of parliament, legislative body, with a few exceptions, okay? But again, it's just a matter of mchezo wa town, okay? They want to play games, and you guys are falling for it because it's exciting. It's TV. It's good for TV. It's good for ratings. Everybody's, it's good for likes and everything. But it's fine. I mean, do you? That's why I'm really not excited about all this Gachagua stuff. But it is what it is. That's why I'm not dwelling on it. I'll just wait for this to play out just to tell you, wait, remember I told you so? Gachagua will not be impeached, okay? So, yeah, and believe me, they're all in it. Ruto, Raila, Uhuru, all this, Kalonzo, they know what's happening. Like, I'm telling you, NADCO is coming. Pay attention to NADCO and pay attention to the country's resources being looted and sold out to Ruto's cronies, or Ruto just plundering the country's wealth. That is what you need to pay attention to. Hizi madrama zote za Gachagua, za sijui nini. I mean, it's so funny that when I was listening to some of the charges, and I'm sitting there and I'm looking at Wetangula, who was embroiled in some, you remember the gold, your story of gold, the gold that was being transported from Congo to somewhere in Emirates. And guess what? Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta were also in it. They had their hand in it. Okay? So this is the level of corruption that we have in Kenya. So if you're going to pay attention and really take these people serious and spend your time thinking that, oh, you watu nasema, oh, 2027 itakuwa hivi, or watu wa Mount Kenya will be divided, then they're doing it. It's so obvious that they're trying to create this tension. They're creating this crisis. It's a crisis that is being created by this political class. That's why you see people like Kaloma and all these people, and Ichungwa and all these useful idiots passionately. I mean, they're doing it for the cameras. You can see how they're talking as if, like Gachagua is the worst person ever existed in the history of humanity. I mean, it's all an act. This is to draw you, and they're going to drag it. This is going to drag for the rest of the year, because your focus now is no longer on popular revolution. Nobody is talking about. I don't see any banners or any on X saying "Twendeni Maandamano, Occupy State House." Who is calling for that? Nobody. Everybody is all talking about Gachagua. Nobody's saying Twendeni. Remember when we said occupy in your parliament, and we occupied it. Then we said occupy State House, Ruto must go. And then Ruto got scared and brought the army and brought his Ninio. But nobody's talking about that anymore. We agreed to regroup and go and remove him. But no, now nobody's talking about that. We are just, Morara today is Morara's arrest. Morara is a faker. We all know that. Oh yeah, he just got arrested on the day that Gachagua was giving his whatever. And I mean, you have to see this. It's so clear. It's so, come on, guys. At least Kasmuel now is not hiding. He's really down with Raila Odinga. I mean, did you see the pictures? I'll show you guys the pictures. I'll show you guys the pictures real quick. Today I'll be brief because I know you guys want to hear more about Gachagua and all this stuff and all. It's okay. It's okay. I will not bore you with that. There's numerous channels that are talking about Gachagua today. I'm telling you, he's trending. But I just want to show you a few things. Actually, it was Robert Alai who posted this picture. If you go to Robert Alai's page, you can see what I'm talking about. He has a picture of your body, and I'll show you in a minute. Are you ready, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends and comrades? All right. Let me show you really quick. Well, he's been posting, and he's posting a lot about Gachagua, like I say. Gachagua seems to be the topic today. And everyone is jumping on it, which is fine. I get it. I get that part. Oh, crap. I can't see it. Where is this? Well, this is taking... I can't see. But anyway, it's on Alai's page. If you guys can go to Robert Alai page and scroll down, you'll see the picture of what's his name? Kasmuel was meeting up with Makoure. I mean, with Raila, and they were at Raila's place, hanging out, having fun. Which there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just it shows you, it tells you a lot about Mr. Makoure. Remember, they were a few weeks ago, they were going at it between the two of them, but now they are like great friends. You wonder what happened in between. I can't find it, but anyway, it is what it is. Yeah, so that's what's happening, ladies and gentlemen. I know. But what else did I want to share? Aoko is trending. I don't know what Aoko is doing for today. I don't know what she posted. Okay. Miguna has posted 8 minutes ago. He said, let me read Miguna's tweet here. Don't show you cons here. I know. Slow day for me. I'm just like over this whole thing. Yeah. Anyways. So here Miguna says the MPs, senators, and members of the National Assembly passed the legislation allowing conflicts of interest last year, and virtually all of them are only yelping because Ruto has allowed to loot CDF and gives them crumbs through the Ministry of Interior. Yet they're pretending to impeach Gachagua because of conflict of interest. They all trade with the government. In fact, no one trades with the government more than William Ruto. I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying that we are sick and tired of their hypocrisy, double standards, and conmanship. Kenyans are not stupid. Absolutely. So, according to Miguna, he's saying Gachagua must fight Ruto to death. If he surrenders and resigns, as many idiotic cowards are advising, evil and impunity will have won. Yeah, this is where I disagree with the Miguna. Maybe if he thinks... There's some people who think Gachagua is really not part of this game. I honestly think Gachagua is part of this play. Like I said, there's a video out there. I can't find it anymore. One day, Uhuru Kenyatta was really drunk and he was saying, kumi yangu, alafu William tapatia William Ruto kumi yake, alafu William akimaliza, Gachag, then he stopped himself. Alafu say, hey, ntawacha hapo. But basically he was saying after William, and they're using the same script. They vote, they act like they're together, they win the elections, then they conjure up Aninio. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends and comrades, I'm out. I will leave it here today. I'm not just feeling it, but hey, go to other platforms today. It's a Gachagua day. I wasn't prepared for today. I just wanted to touch on a few things. I'll see you guys later. Peace and blessings, and I'm out.